guys, Xbox here, check it out. This is going to be sort of my guide slash sort of spec on Cole, basically your DPS rogue. Now, again, this is just what I used to sort of beat the game pretty easily, even though I really didn't use a rogue in the beginning because I more wanted to use Sarah and just have her sort of kite everything. Even though, looking back, I probably would have used the rogue more unless I was fighting a dragon, where I needed to really stay back, because the AoE from a dragon was pretty intense. So let me go over the items on Cole so you guys can see. You'll notice that for the daggers, I really didn't find a dagger that was better than the ones that I can craft, and I don't know if it's always that way or not. So you guys can see. Here's some of the daggers that I made, and there's some other daggers that I have that are okay and do some decent DPS. But overall, you guys can see the daggers that I have here. Agile Screw Ravager, item level 24. I mean, the AoE on it, the attack, the bleed, the dex, and the cunning, almost 10 apiece. Now this is just on one of the daggers. Of course, you can have 2 different daggers on the users. So this is one of them. So 381 DPS, item level 24, which is really, really good. Then, of course, my other one here, which is almost the same thing, but it's level 23. Not as much DPS, or I think it's matched DPS, but also the plus 10 dex and the plus 10 cunning, which is super huge bonus on your rogue. Going down, of course, the items right here. Masterworks Prowler Armor. Again, you get the dex bonus, you get the bleed bonus, as well as the abilities cost 20 less mana slash stamina if you're not being hit for 5 seconds. And typically, your rogue is not being hit, right? Because they can only take, I don't know, 5 or 6 shots, or maybe even 2, depending on the mob that you are fighting. So again, these up here are very devastating. He deals out a lot of DPS. Of course, we have the plus 10 dex amulet, best in slot, unless you guys know of a better amulet. Then, of course, the rings are very optional. I have plus 10% heal on kill. The reason I have this is because if he gets hit, he's losing like half his life. So what I want him to do is some on the trash mobs, I want him to kill it and just get some of his health back so I don't get popping potions if I'm out doing quests. Then, of course, 20% flanking damage bonus. This is good because he's usually coming up flanking them, and you need that little bit of extra bonus to kill those guys. Of course, 30% focus gain. Of course, the more focus he's going to hopefully crit and get some of those crits that you need basically for killing mobs quicker. Then, of course, the Helm of Drac, item level 22. Not a bad item. It's one of the better helmets that I found. You get the dex bonus, the magic defense, and the range defense. There's probably better items, but I know these 2 DPS daggers are very, very good for what I have. And I built some other daggers that were strictly using dragon bone and dragon everything, and they were okay, but they just wouldn't put out the DPS, or they put out very close to the DPS that I was producing. So those are my items on my rogue. Let's take a look at sort of what I've done in the skill tree here. So let's go back to Cole. Here we go. All right. So of course, you always got to take everything inside the everything here inside the normal rogue class, if you want to call it that. And then, of course, you're always going to need a little bit of defense to get away. So you do your defensive tree. If I were to go back, I would definitely I would definitely get the poison on my weapons, even though I didn't get that. But then again, I went ahead and went for the assassin's tree here, which, I don't know, the Cloak of Shadows is really, really good. I mean, it's any of the classes where you can get that specialized attack here is really good. But the thing is really not my whole party needs go into the sort of the perk tree. I didn't really use this particular one too much, but all the rest of the stuff definitely I did. So that's it for my rogue. Hopefully you guys liked that video. Maybe this will be a good idea for a spec you might want to do. I might retweak it later to see how high I can get my DPS output to go. So thanks again, guys, and definitely subscribe if you guys haven't already.